Lead the Way, a podcast for school leaders with author, speaker, and educator, Dr. Bill Ziegler.
Welcome to Lead the Way, a podcast for ed leaders by ed leaders in 5 minutes or less. Today, I am with Dr. Quentin Lee, the principal of Childersburg High School in Childersburg, Alabama. Dr. Lee, it's so great to have you on Lead the Way today.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Dr. Lee, you are a complete rock star on YouTube. I love the work that you do and how you work to inspire students. Thank you so much for your work and just really bringing just joy to the profession of educational leadership. Great work in that.
Education shapes so much of what we do as a nation and as people in general. So I'm just very thankful to have a platform to help other educators inspire and reach their communities.
Well, I love how you really work to build positive relationships with your students. What are some ways educational leaders, whether it be superintendents or directors or principals or assistant principals, how can they build relationships with students?
Well, in order to have a relationship, you must relate. You must be able to experience some of the experiences that the people that you're serving go through. And that comes by having conversations and getting to know them on a one-on-one level. Right now, we're in a situation where COVID has affected so many of our students, their families. They've lost loved ones. They've lost income. Some of them may be food insecure. You're dealing with a lot of social injustices with students that are Black or brown that have just been seeing a lot of injustices and just the trauma from that. Like, that's something that we all can't wrap our heads around. But by having a conversation and relating to them and trying to build those relationships, they can understand that you're there to help them as an educator and that you care about their life. And that's the most important thing right now. In order to build those relationships, having those moments of communication so that you can get an understanding of what people are going through.
I think that's so important, that understanding of what people are going through and having empathy as much as you possibly can. The other thing I've noticed that you do really, really well, Dr. Lee, is you love to have fun with kids. Tell us about, the importance of infusing humor and fun into building relationships with students.
Well, what person doesn't like to have fun? That's what we enjoy in life. Laughter is definitely medicine for the soul. So by just always inciting fun activities in everything you do, it allows people to have a good side and see the humor. And I'm just thinking about my school, like our discipline is extremely low now, but the kids know that we mean business. They follow our protocols, our guidelines, our suggestions, and we have fun. It's nothing to see us walking up and down the hall laughing with students. Our attendance is at 98% right now, even during this pandemic that we're going through, because our kids love coming to school. So really just inciting everything with a little bit of humor, just to get people laughing and excited. And the community, they love it as well.
Yeah, I can see that through those various videos that you do. It's obvious that your students love it, that your community loves it. Talking to some educational leaders out there, what are some other strategies you would share with them to build relationships with students right now today?
I would say just make a vested interest in the communities that you serve. The only time that the community should see you shouldn't be at a basketball game or a football game. Get out into the community. Earlier this summer, my entire faculty, we performed community service for our city. So we were around different areas of the community, picking up trash, sweeping sidewalks downtown. We went to the housing authorities, picked up trash. We planted flowers. It was about providing a service to the city. If we're going to educate the students of the city, we need to be able to serve them, not just within the walls of our school. So just really get out, make those connections, and let your voice be heard.
Yeah, I so agree with you. That is awesome about letting your voice be heard and the voice of your students and teachers. So many schools right now are online and virtual. How can a principal or an ed leader do that in an online environment?
Well, it's tough. I mean, there's no way around it. It's definitely tough with the constraints that we're having to do with our social distancing. But email, make sure you're still sending those reminders to the students that are at home and checking in on them. An email could do wonders, and you can actually blind copy and send it to everyone, but they'll feel special because they think it just came to them directly. But just really having those checkpoints so they can check in with you, supporting the teachers that are doing online, and just continue to have a vested interest in the educational process of each and every child, regardless if it's remote or in person.
Well, Dr. Lee, thank you so much for being an advocate for kids in general and your kids there at Childersburg High School. It's so good to have you on Lead the Way today.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed my time.
You've been listening to Dr. Bill Ziegler with Lead the Way. Bill has great resources for school leaders at chaselearning.org. That's chaselearning.org. Thanks for listening to Lead the Way with Dr. Bill Ziegler.